Welcome to Applied AI Australia. I'm Ramon. Now here's the truth. Ignoring AI is probably the fastest way you can fall behind. My guarantee is we'll cut through the noise and we'll deliver only on what matters: growth, margins, and time. Each week, I translate AI into practical outcomes you can actually use. Last month, I needed to find a builder for some fencing and a deck renovation. Now, normally, that's hours on Google, 10 tabs opened, I'm reading reviews, I'm checking builders' websites, I'm chasing quotes. And even then, I'm probably still not converting, not for a while. But instead, that day, I jumped onto Perplexity. You've probably all heard me talk about this a fair bit now. And I pumped in, do I need a building permit for a deck extension and fencing in Melbourne? I expected a simple response to a simple question. And suddenly, Perplexity is literally mapping out the whole permit process step by step. Then it escalates. It's showing me local builders, pricing comparisons, availability, and reviews from multiple different sources. And the mic drop moment was, it then asked me, do you want to upload a photo of your house? And of course, I do. And within seconds, I am staring at a photo of my house, but with my dream deck and the landscape and fencing that we've wanted since the moment we've bought it. Now, I'm not talking about some little animation that looks like crap. This is literally my property, to the point where I'm going to have to take a double take and see if I'm going crazy or not. And the next point scared me even more. I purchased from this company and I didn't even go to his website. I didn't shop around. I converted then and there. Within 24 hours, I was putting a deposit in for over $10,000. And I'd never visited his website. Now, I would normally never do that. Had I heard about this guy 20 or 30 times and been really familiar with his business? No. I had never seen this business except for one time. I remember on the heraldsun.com.au years ago, I saw his branding in some sort of editorial or content. I can't even tell you what it was. I just remember seeing the logo there and his name. It was a fleeting memory of the past, and I see thousands of those on a daily basis. But that little bit of credibility had stuck in my head, and I converted with him. Now, if I had done the same thing and seen him all those years ago on the Herald Sun and then saw him on Google when I was looking for a contractor, there is no way in hell I would have not gone through to his website and converted with him the way I did. The way AI wrapped up this purchase decision, Google, Facebook, or any other social media channel that I've used never could deliver the experience it did. It gave me personal, tailored, trustworthy advice, and it literally collapsed the journey of me spending over $10,000 from weeks into hours. Now, that $10,000 transaction, that was completely invisible to every marketing system out there. Think about it. I wasn't on anyone's Google Analytics, so it didn't go to their website. There was no attribution of me. I wasn't in their funnels. I had become an invisible customer, but I was making a very visible purchase. And that's what caught me off guard. My career has been made up on watching customer journeys, and I've seen the shift. I've seen evolutions. I've run all different types of campaigns and worked with businesses of all sizes. But I had no idea we were already here. Now, if someone like me who knows customer journey and media and marketing extremely well, I know it inside out, can spend $10,000 without visiting a website, what's it doing to your customers? This isn't a future threat, guys. It's happening right now. It happened to me, and it's costing Aussie businesses just like you huge amounts of revenue on a daily basis. And the crazy thing about it is you don't even know what's happening because they're invisible. You're being robbed in broad daylight. Now, since this has happened, I've spent a huge amount of time looking at how this happens and what's involved. And what it comes down to is there's 3 specific moves that any business can deploy to start capturing these conversations. Now, note, I didn't say conversions, I said conversations. And we'll unpack that more today. And what I can see and what I can tell you and what the data backs up is businesses that are capitalizing on the phenomenon of the invisible customer, they're stealing market share from competitors who don't even know what's happening. Now, Gartner, they forecast that by 2026, so not far away at all, half of all business decisions will be shaped by AI recommendations. Let me put this in perspective with someone who represents your customers. Meet Alex, a CFO in Sydney who's probably sitting in a very similar meeting to yours right now. A year ago, when Alex needed to buy that new software and evaluate it for the finance team, the process was predictable, right? So Google search, comparison sites, vendor calls, demos, and proposals. And the thing about that process is you had a chance to influence him in every part of his decision. But the part today, what happened to me, was completely different. Alex now opens Claude or ChatGPT and asks, what's the best financial planning software for a 200-person financial firm? And the AI recommendation it gives, it is so specific with detailed reasoning, comparisons, and implementation, even if Alex decides to pick up the phone and have a meeting with 3 different companies and sees their sales reps, one thing that's for sure is his evaluation criteria and his decision and his shortlist is already been made up in his mind. Now, I know a lot of you will say, well, anyone's going to do that. They're going to research before they buy something. But there is a significant difference between scrolling through Google and looking at a few websites to getting a custom response brief to your problem from AI. It's like nothing we've seen before. If you don't believe me and you're still sitting on the fence, pause this podcast and open ChatGPT and ask it,
What's an unexpected truth about me? Something that might surprise even me, that you've noticed from our conversations. Don't sugarcoat it. Give me the unvarnished version as if you're holding up a mirror.
Now I put that into ChatGPT and I've done it in a few other tools as well. And I was hoping to be able to share the answer with you, but I'm not because it's much more personal than I expected. The level of personalization and information it has on me. Now, if AI understands us that deeply, imagine the level of influence and power it holds. Now, here's the pattern we've spoken about so far. Your customers, they're still there, they're still evaluating, they're still deciding, but it's happening in AI conversations, ones that you can't see or measure. Now, a SAP survey found that over 74% of executives now trust AI responses more than their friends, family, and colleagues. So let me repeat that. A SAP survey found that 74% of execs now trust AI more than responses from their friends, family, and colleagues. So if you think that through, board level decisions are getting shaped more by algorithms than people in the room. Now, Salesforce reports that over 88% of buyers are now using AI-powered tools to influence their decision-making. Now, these statistics aren't next year, not in the 5 years, they're today and it's happening with your customers. Now, if you still don't believe me, McKinsey's research shows that mid-market firms could lose somewhere between 20 to 40% of revenue to competitors who appear in AI searches. Now, here's the kicker. In aggressive situations, it's 60 to 80% of your market share gone, wiped, erased. Not because your products suck or your service didn't hit the mark, but because businesses like you never showed up in the conversation. Now ask yourself, when was the last time you scrolled through 10 search pages before making a business decision? Well, guess what? Your customers aren't either. They're getting AI-generated summaries, and it's more than enough to make a decision. And I know what some of you are thinking.
So, I always use Google. I don't ever use AI. I would never trust AI responses, mate.
Well, if you've noticed, at the top of Google's search results is something called Google AI Overview. So even if you don't think you're using AI, if you're using Google, more than likely you're getting AI-powered responses and it's at the top of the page. Now, this isn't just about your brand. If AI positions your industry as slow, expensive, outdated, your customers' minds are made up before the brand even gets considered. And that's one thing AI really expands on. It's not just about the conversion. The whole consideration and the exploration phase takes it to levels we've never thought about in terms of connecting with our customer. Now, if you're not in the response, you don't just miss the click, you're missing the customer. You are losing business. And that very quickly compounds from a marketing problem to a profit and loss problem. Now, we all know Afterpay, right? Well, their direct competitor, Klarna, has over 2/3 of their customer service which equate to something like 2 million conversations monthly being done by AI agents. And I know you're probably thinking, well, the customer's probably having a bad experience. Well, no, the data shows that they've actually got a higher NPS score than their human agents at the company. To put that in perspective of bodies and humans, the work that these AI agents are doing that are delivering better results represents 700 customer support reps. And customers are getting their answers instantly and consistently. Now, I'm not here to debate whether we should have agents over people and humans. That's not what this conversation's about. What I'm showing you is how the customer journey and experience is changing right in front of us. Now, let's put some numbers on this. Let's say this is your business. You handle 1,000 customer inquiries monthly at 15 minutes each, $2 a minute in costs. If you're following with me, that's $30,000. Now, if AI just resolves 60% of those interactions, you're saving $16,000 monthly or nearly $200,000 annually. Now, that's before factoring in faster resolutions and improved customer experience. Now, most leaders think AI is just about efficiency gains. Here's the thing, it's not. It is about controlling the flow of information. Now, the customer journey has changed. I think we'd all agree with that by now if you've made it this far. Customers are still spending, they're still making decisions, they're still choosing, but there's a large part of your funnel you can't see anymore. And that's the invisible customer that we've been speaking about. Now, with AI on your radar, you've got a simple job ahead. It's ensuring you're the answer when the customer asks the questions. Now, this creates two different types of business outcomes. One, those that appear in AI recommendations, and two, those that don't. Now, the gap between those that do and don't are only going to accelerate at the speed of AI growth. Remember, AI is growing 39% quicker than the uptake of the internet. So while we're sitting here optimizing traditional approaches, your competitors are systematically building AI visibility and capturing customers before they even reach your traditional touchpoints. Now, let me make this very clear. Things can go wrong pretty quickly with AI. And the first thing you need to watch out for, if I had to put it down to just two things, A is going to be the trust erosion. If AI gives out wrong information about your product, service, or brand, that's not going to end well. But B, the thing that we see happening all the time for businesses that are on the far right and adapting AI in every channel aggressively is often they fall into the trap of over automation. And often that's without strategy. Now, you would think this would only happen to a few people or those who can't afford the right advice or haven't got the right experience in their business implementing it. We recently saw one of Australia's big four banks over automate a department, and they ended up getting rid of quite a few employees in this business unit. And within days, they had to rehire them because AI couldn't handle the level of complex, frustrated customers that wouldn't be serviced through AI. Now, earlier in the podcast, I promised you that there was 3 things that you could do to start capturing these invisible customer conversations today. Move 1, digital clarity. Now, most businesses suffer from identity confusion across digital platforms. Your Google My Business says one thing, your LinkedIn page says one thing, your website says one thing, your YouTube says one thing. Even if they're not all significantly different, mismatches, even if small amounts of information, it's going to confuse the AI just enough for your information not to get served. Think about it like this. When there's thousands of books in a library, books need to be put back in an orderly place. So when a new customer comes in and asks the librarian for a book, they can find it because the information is neat and orderly. Fixing this, it doesn't take long, maybe 2-3 hours of your staff's time, but the ROI is guaranteed. Move 2 is answer assets. Now, this one draws directly from my experience in digital marketing because it's very similar in this case. You need to be the source for your customers' questions. So what you need to do is you need to choose questions that your business answers better than anyone else and create content specifically for that. Now, I'm not talking about marketing copy designed to sell or persuade customers. It's built so the AI can understand it, comprehend it, and recommend it. Move 3, one source where you get mentioned, you're probably still getting ignored. But as your business starts getting mentioned online 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different times, Those credible sources start to create a bit of a pattern and you'll start to build authority over time. But it's not just quantity, it's quality. If you can get noted in sources that are credible, like the Daily Telegraph, the Herald Sun, realestate.com.au, and I'm not just saying that because I work in news, quality and credible sources are going to provide a much stronger outcome that's going to compound over time. Now, the foundations that we've gone through today, the 3 moves, they form phase 1. But if you do want to jump ahead to the 30-day or the 6-month roadmap, they can be found on my AI visibility scorecard that I will link in the system notes. But for 99% of you, getting the basics right are going to move the needle much more than overwhelming you with the entire system today. Now remember, this isn't about replacing everything that we've done on customer journey and our approach, but it is about ensuring that your business adapts to the conversations that are already happening. I'm going to say for the 10th time, if you're not in these answers, you're losing the opportunity before your campaign even begins. Now here's the challenge. Pick one decision that's stored on your desk and ask yourself, if my customer asked AI about this problem, would my business be the recommended solution? If not, you know exactly where to start, guys. Now, before we wrap, don't just think about AI, measure how it's already shaping your customer journey. Go to appliedaiaustralia.com.au/visibility to see where you stand. Now, the deck renovation moment that we shared at the start of today's episode, this is clear early evidence of the most significant customer shift we've seen since the internet itself. I'm Ramon Rodriguez. Thanks for joining me on Applied AI Australia. Remember, you can't control the speed of change, but you can control how fast you adapt.